Hello, everybody. Welcome to this live session with Dr. Girish Kumar. He's a founder and chief healing officer at Human Connect, and with me, Jyotsna Ramachandran. So, this session is going to be called Love Bytes Live. Girish and I used to do these sessions as a recorded video before in YouTube, but now we decided why not do this as a live session. So, before we begin, I would just like to know in the comments if you can hear us and see us properly. Please give us a thumbs up or just tell okay in the chat box if you can hear us and see us fine. So, Girish, what are we going to be talking about today?
So first, love you all for coming live, and I want you to experience the love for next half an hour or 45 minutes. And at the end of that, I want you to come out with lots of questions so that we can help you out to say.
Absolutely. So when Girish was asking what can be the topic for our first Love Bites Live, we were talking about this book called The Gap and the Gain. So this is a book that I and my team at Happy Self Publishing read a few months ago. So we have this company book club and we read this book. And as usual, Girish doesn't like reading books, but we share notes with each other. So if he attends a program, he tells me about it. If I read a book, I tell him about it. And when I was telling the points, we could resonate with it and connect with relationships so well because these are pretty much the things that Girish also talks to his clients at Human Connect. So we thought, why not use the concepts of the gap and the gain and share it in the context of relationships. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So Girish, let me begin by asking you, why are people not happy?
First of all, we need so many things in our life that we are not able to get. So we keep bars. So each time, if I achieve this, I will be happy. If we achieve this, we are happy. Which we are achieve this, we are happy. But we are not knowing that by being here itself, we can be happy. For example, if I take from relationship, there are so many people who want to get married and they are not able to get married, but we are married and we keep so many steps ahead and we are not happy with what we are. So people who are not married, they feel that if they get married itself,
It's a
we
big
are
achievement.
happy, it's a blessing by God grace. But when we are going a step ahead and ahead without acknowledging, now this is where we are unhappy. So
People
when
think,
we
okay, now if I have a child, then I'll be happy.
Yeah.
So they keep postponing their
yeah
happiness.
if we can acknowledge what we have and now, so now happiness we get easily.
Absolutely. So let us understand the concept of the gap and the gain, because if this concept is understood very clearly, then probably we learn how to be happy in the current present moment with whatever we have. So I'm going to quickly share our screen here because I would like you to visually see something so that you can understand this better. Just give me a second. So I hope you're able to see this diagram in front of you right now. Yeah. So this diagram talks about two concepts, the gap and the gain. Now, in life, we all have our ideal lifestyle, right? That is our ultimate goal. But we all have a starting point also. So, from the starting point, we are all trying to go to the ideal life. Now, when we are going to the ideal life, there are multiple steps we need to take. So, at the present moment, we have achieved something, but our monkey brain will not look at how many wonderful steps we have taken to reach where we are right now. Instead, the common mentality is to look ahead and see, oh my God, I'm yet to achieve so many more steps.
Yes.
Like, in a marathon, if you are running 10 kilometers, then you probably would have done 8 kilometers already. But we will only be looking at, oh my God, I have 2 more kilometers to complete. But very few of us actually look back and give ourselves a pat on our back and tell that, wow, I've done 8 kilometers already. So when you measure where you are and compare, I mean, when you measure the gap between where you are to where you want to be, that is called the gap. Whereas if you see the distance between where you were, the starting point, to where you are right now, that is called measuring the gain. Of course, you have your vision in front of you. That is great. But look back and see and appreciate yourself for the all the things that you've done so far. That is called achieving the, being in the game. I hope this diagram would have illustrated it clearly. You can take a screenshot of this, as you can clearly see. When you're only looking at the gap, there is failure, frustration, disappointment, guilt, depression, all of that. But when you look at the gain, you have not done anything different. You're still at the same point, but your vision has changed. Instead of looking at only in the front, you're also looking at the distance traveled. That will give you success, satisfaction, enjoyment, high self-esteem, optimism, and all of that. So my question is, uh, like in terms of relationship, how can one look at the gain instead of the gap?
So we should always feel that what we are getting from the relationship, it's not that what we are not getting. For example, if you see today morning when we are getting up, so if simple thing, morning I need a juice when I'm getting up, so I should see happy that when you are bringing juice to me in the morning and not saying that the temperature of the juice is not right. And if I see that, I will not enjoy what I'm getting. If same way that if I'm not getting it, what and all I'm losing it. So we should see that what we are getting, that is the gain part. Than the lose that which we are not what is that gain and
Gap.
gap, what is that gap. So focus more on your gain than what is your gap is.
Yeah, this is such a simple example, but it's so powerful. So whenever I make this morning, this it's a
Juice.
miracle drink. Okay, it's a secret recipe. We'll give you later. So when I'm making it for myself, I also make for Girish. Sometimes it will not be according to his taste, but he has never told me that. So I'm happy. He always appreciates me for doing that small gesture. So you're constantly training your mind to
Yes.
be in the gain rather than look at the gap. So one point I want to mention here, first we need to train our mind to look at our own gain, like personally whatever we do, and then we should extend it to others. It's like what Girish says, right? Loving yourself and extending the love to others is the secret behind
Successful relationship.
Similarly,
So here also it is like that. So whatever you do for your relationship, first you should see that you are taking that extra mile. So as the juice I told, it's a very small gesture, but that makes the relationship even more closer and powerful and connected. So because we don't see the small things in our life, we only think that if Jyotsna is achieving this much turnover for this month, I will be happy. No, even the smallest gesture, it's very very important. So that's why we say that more focus on the gain than the gap it is. So
Yeah.
that when we connect deeper, then we will enjoy every second.
Right, and I'm trying to consciously do this with our children also. So
Yes.
today I made a post on social media talking about our kids' education. So when I was discussing about this topic with Girish, I realized that compared to where my daughter was like 2 years ago, she
Correct.
has made huge progress. Before she couldn't even read a sentence, now she can read
Yes.
books. So I feel very proud as a mother that she has made this gain. Whereas my dad, he also has all the great intentions for our children, but he knows how I used to stand first in class, that
Yes,
typical
yeah.
mentality, and he'll compare.
So
Oh my
compare
God.
Advika.
Yeah.
Yeah. Advika is totally a different child of creativity. She creates things and be very fast. So now, as a couple, we are able to see that difference and help the child to see how the gain that they are in this life is a blessing for us. So after Advika came into our life, only we started to push ourselves to the next level and started to grow very strongly by helping others.
Yeah. So my suggestion is please do share this video with all your loved ones also, because within the family, we all, even though you know this concept, you will get into the trap of only looking at the gap. So hold each other accountable. When one family member is talking about the gap, please call them out and tell them that, hey, now let's look at the gain and not the gap. Right. So
Yes.
there's this other thing also, Girish, about needing something and wanting something. Would you like to talk about that?
So need is that we need something which is good or bad.
So I feel it's good to want many things. Like I want a happy marriage is fine, but when I say I need this marriage, only then I'll be happy. That is
So
a problem.
now when we connect to that relationship, so I want to get married to a person. It's good. Okay. I need this type of person only. Now that you becomes the greedy of that energy. So now the want should be very clear with love, not to put someone down or to showcase you that you have getting this in your life. So
Yeah.
the want should be with a lot of humbleness, with lots of love, with lots of energy exchange. Should be with neutral energy. That you should spread love there. By putting that need, as Jyotsna told, when your need concept come, it comes. We are not humble. We are egoistic. It comes
Yeah,
that
and we become dependent.
dependent. Yeah, yeah. In a relationship, it should be interdependent, not on dependent on anyone. So that energy is what I think that one should always be love and need. Maybe it comes with the power. So that is with the love with power, it helps, but not with need. If I have this only, I will get that energy. It is
Yeah.
not good.
In fact, I would suggest that if you are a part of Human Connect, you know what is the daily connection journal. So at
Yes.
the in the front page, you would have written down your goals, your intentions in 8 dimensions of your life.
Correct.
Look at each of those intentions and see if they are a want or a need. You may want to be healthy. That's wonderful. But if you feel that only if I weigh at this particular weight, only then I'll be happy. Then
Now,
it's a
now
problem.
that is a problem. So we should be grateful where we are. From there, we will should see the gain and gap.
Yeah, then from there we have to see the gap. Yeah, first be grateful for the gain. Yeah.
Yes.
So the other concept that Girish loved is the difference between obsessive passion versus harmonious passion.
Yes. So harmonious passion, what when we discussed today morning, it is like it's full of love, it's with full of compassion that I am doing this for my good. For I am being good, others also be enjoying my goodness. Then, what is one more you told?
The other is compulsive,
Compulsive,
obsessive passion.
obsessive passion. It's mainly about that energy, which is like if I have this, I am crazy for that. So, for example, now if I want to have a good physique, so I'm crazy for going to the gym for 3 hours and maintaining it. And if I'm not doing it, I'm lost. I'm not able to enjoy my life if I'm not going to gym today. So that is a dangerous way of looking. Like that, see in your life, which if something that you're doing and if you're not doing, you go mad, you are becoming crazy. Please don't get into that space. So
Absolutely.
harmonious passion is very very powerful, and it helps you to, even though 1 day or 2 day you missed, you will be with lots of love, with lots of grace, that you go forward, but not feeling bad or not feeling so. If someone is now they have diabetic or something, the one laddu is given to her, then they will be like, I don't want, and then after some time they will eat it. So that is, it's not good way of taking that energy. So we should be grateful, or we should be powerful in what we are doing. That is the harmonic way of doing things.
I think this applies to our relationship also, Girish. When we
Yes.
first met,
Yes.
a lot of my friends also had boyfriends, but one thing that set us apart is after we found each other, we started growing in all areas of our life.
That's true.
So it was not like talking to him all day and missing my classes. None of that was happening.
Yes.
So, but many people become obsessive when they get into a relationship.
So
They want to own that person
Yeah.
and follow whatever they do. And
Yes, yes. I think that we never saw the gap there. We only saw gain, gain, and gain, and we were each for each other to help each other to grow. And I was a person who asked so many things to her and know so many things. So that maybe that 5 years made us to be so strong. If someone asks me that what is your biggest blessing, I can only say that marrying Jyotsna is the biggest blessing for me. Today, if I am like this, her part will be huge contribution in my life.
Same pinch, Girish.
Thank you.
The other thing, going back to the first question I asked Girish, why most people are not really happy.
Okay.
I feel one of the reasons could also be having the wrong definition for success itself, right? Because in the image that we shared with you, you saw something called the ideal, right? That is like your finish line that we want to achieve. But what if the finish line is probably unrealistic or driven by what the society is telling?
Yeah, maybe I can add like that. For example, you want to go from A to D. So you should see that A to B you are traveled, and that travel, it has huge commitment. So that we should acknowledge, and that is one success. Then B to C, there is one more commitment, because each level is a different level of commitment. Then that we should acknowledge. And C to D, again it requires a different commitment to reach that. So when we have three commitment in that energy, you will see that a lot of energy is growing up, and you as a person, you enjoy that success. It's not some one A to D is success.
Yeah.
It's A to B, B to C, C to D. That if you can look into that, the more happiness you will say. And it's everything is celebration, no? At the end of the day, what we need, celebrate. That's why Indian soil, we say that 365 days is a celebration. In olden days, they made sure that each day we are happy and celebrating. Now only we cut down all the celebrations. So that's why I say in the morning, no, the juice when she gives in the early morning, I will be feeling so happy to have that with lots of gratitude. That's a celebration, getting a juice from my wife's hand.
Again, I think the answer is lying in the DCJ. When at the end of the day, when you're uh, talking about, what was a positive thing that happened today, what is a powerful action you
Yes.
took today, we are indirectly celebrating.
Yes.
So every day has to be a celebration. That's how you're measuring the gain every day, rather than seeing only the gap. The other
Correct.
point, Girish, you said no, going from A to D, you measure every step and be so happy about that.
Yes.
I feel that the point D has to, whatever is suppose is reaching point D success, you decide that D should be your point,
Yes,
not somebody
yes,
else.
that's an awesome point, Jyotsna. Yeah, what Jyotsna? Yes, that's a huge thing. Success is in your hand. You define your success. You define how much money you want to earn. You decide what is tour that you want to put this year. You decide how many clothes you want. You decide how much money you should earn. So that should be a success. Because if I compare with Jyotsna, I will be lost. If she compares with me, she will be lost. So we should know where we are traveling and what we are doing. So as a couple, it's always like this. My gaps will be filled by her, her gaps will be filled by me, with lots of love. It's not with power, it should be with love, so that we can see that gain you measure more and more and more than the gaps. So gaps will be there, but the filling should be the partner. And that's where now, even now today, we are coming on live to share our experience. We understood how, what where we did wrong in our relationship. Now we are in a position to tell people that this things watch, so that you will not make these mistakes in your life. So
So true.
that's what now we are, now what we gained, now we are sharing back to the society. And Jyotsna is a girl where who looks at so many books. I am the last one to see that, but she will give tips from the each book one liner. That's what her strength is. And with one line, I get lot of downloads in my energy, and I just believe that divine works with everyone, and we have the divine gift. So with that divine gift, what we do in that relationship makes a huge difference for us and for the mankind.
So true. And I would also encourage you all, uh, do this individually. Make a list of things that you think is the definition of success in your relationship, right?
Correct.
Whether you're married or in a relationship, or even if you're single, in future you would probably want to be in a relationship. That's why you're a part of our soul family, right? So make sure that you decide what does success look like for you. Now, some of this, for each point, see whether it's coming from inside or somebody else. Like sometimes, you may see, oh, Girish is doing this in his relationship, so let me add it to my list. Nothing wrong in that, okay? Get inspiration from others, but you should truly believe in it. Like, for example, for us, going on weekly dates is a sign of a good relationship. So if you
Yes.
also believe in that, feel free to, adapt all these things from other people, but you should believe in it and not just do it because somebody else is doing
Yeah,
it.
so it should be like you should feel wow. It's not that going to a date it's going to be happy. Some people will say after going to date so much bill it is. So
Yeah.
it's no point of going there. It should
Not
be
for you
like,
then,
yeah, then that is not for you. Maybe holding hand together and walking like that.
Yeah.
It makes you happy, and it should make you to go again and again and again and again. So it should not be like, oh, today's date is over, 1 week tick. No, it should not be like that. You should look forward as a couple to do things together.
Yeah. And success doesn't have to look really big. Like only
Yeah.
if you buy a gold pendant or diamond earring for your wife,
Yes,
it means
yes.
you're in a successful marriage.
No.
Not at all, right?
So if you think like that, I and Jyotsna cannot get married, because when I was in a relationship with her and when I started my career, my salary was very, very, very less. But I know that one day it will be high. And today it's God, by God grace, I'm in the position to do whatever I'm doing today. So if I see 13 years before, not 13, 18 years, if she see me that I was working as a waiter in Cafe Coffee Day, if she looks at that and she's having a relationship with me, she cannot, we both cannot have this lifestyle what we have created now for us.
So true. And sometimes these small things only matter more. Like in the beginning of our relationship, if I was able to get up and look at him and smile in the morning, that is
Yes.
success. And that holds true even today.
Yes.
Right? So those small little things can also be the definition of success for you. So make it your own. Don't just go by what society is telling you as success. Right? So now we would like to get some of you to ask your questions in the
Yes.
chat box. That's why we are coming live, so
So
that
that,
we can answer your questions.
So because it's, we personally feel that it's not I and her sharing our success story with you. So here we see that what exactly that we can add to your life, so that we will see that, oh, this is what they are looking at. So what, how can we help you out? How can we add value to your life? So you can comment on the chat box so that we can look into it and see what it is that you need exactly now.
Yeah, it can be related to gap at the gain or anything else
Anything in
about
the relationship or in the
relationships.
energy, on all these things. So anything else you want to ask me, you can ask.
Me, is it? All right. I was just thinking that Girish, a lot of people when they meet us and talk to us about relationships. I have met so many of your clients during VIP day and all that. When it comes to talking about their spouse, their list of gaps is so much. I think Una has a question. 1 second. Bhuvana says, what if the gap in the relationship is much more than the gain? My question was actually similar to what she's asking. Then how can we focus on the gain? So this
Okay.
is a very common thing, because
Okay, so
when your
now,
relationship is not going great, already there is so much frustration about the relationship. So when you think about your partner, the gaps will be so much more than the gain. So what does a person do then?
okay, so the formula remains always the same. Okay, first is see that one gain what we have. So that gain, celebrate that. Then go to the next gain. Then go to the next gain. So now slowly your gain becomes more powerful, and you will see that you are having that energy very powerful. Maybe Jyotsna has a term for it. It's called as mental suppression. So when you subtract your gaps, okay, then you will see more gains you have. So that what and all gaps you have, work on that and say. So always relationship is all about communication. I feel that when you communicate to someone that what you're doing I am not enjoying, one time, two time, third time, when you say, they will look into that energy and slowly change. Now one more thing we should understand, that the relationship all about the two-person coming with a different background. So when we understand that, that energy is totally different. So we should see that that two-person with a different background coming together, being together itself a big gain. Okay, and there will be difference of opinion. Talk, communicate to each other what you are doing. I am not happy with what I am doing. You are not happy. Please tell. Don't keep it in your heart and get worried, and that frustration will add more. As we told before, the daily connection journal helps us to break that, because we see what went good, what went bad, and what is our learnings. All these things help us to connect.
Yeah, before things go out of hand, we are able
Yes.
to catch and communicate that. So since you mentioned the concept of mental subtraction, I'd just like to go a little deeper
Yes.
on that.
Can I?
So what happens is, as Bhuvna also asked, mostly our mind is trained to only look at the gap in any situation, right? It's like when a half filled glass or
Yes.
half empty glass, our mind will only look at the emptiness. So that's how it is. So in order to look at the half filled glass, what we need to do is completely subtract that person, or that whatever complaint you have in your life, completely subtract it. Subtract it means for a second think that that person, whether it's your spouse or your children, or who, or whether it's a person, or suppose your it can be even your objects, house, whatever you're complaining about. For a second, imagine it doesn't
That you
exist.
don't have.
You don't have
Yes.
it.
So now you will see that missing gap, correct?
Yeah, now you will be able to see, oh my God, because of this marriage, I actually got so many things. Now, if this person never came in my life, I would have missed this, so many things, right?
Awesome, Jyotsna. That was a very good eye opener. So maybe that will be a eye opener for most of the people, that if you think that if you separate mentally that person or object from you, you will understand the gap is more than what you are saying or what you are feeling. So we always appreciate. Let's
Yeah.
appreciate what we have. So whatever you have, our job is to see more of gain than seeing more of gaps. The gap should be communicated and converted into gain. So maybe that can everyone can do that energy.
And when we
Yes.
communicate this gain to our partner, what I've noticed is the more we appreciate that, the energy of the whole situation changes. When you're not looking at the gap, you're mainly focusing on the gain. The other person feels amazing, and even if they are in a frustrated mood, there are very high chances that that will also change, and they will see the gain in you also.
Yes. So again, it's an acknowledgement to each other, and that's how the gain and
The gap.
gap is being eradicated by seeing more of gain. And relationship is all about gain. It's not about gap. So it's about what you gain and how we support each other. That makes more powerful.
And we're not
Yes.
saying that, just be happy with whatever you have, don't be ambitious.
yeah.
That's not the point.
So,
But
your
when you're
goals.
actually, able with have fantastic, very high standards for your relationship, have all those goals. But when you're looking at the gain and being happy for it, and then you focus on
Your
what
bigger
else to
goals.
do, to go to the next level, you'll be able to achieve it in a much better way.
It's like this. If you want to go there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps. So I want to go to sixth step. I'm not day one I'm looking there. I'm from first going to second to third to fourth to fifth, and then I'm going to sixth, and I am feeling happy in each step.
I
It's
think
not
this
only.
is very similar to how you built human connect.
Yes, 100%.
The first client, we didn't even have an office room. We
Yeah.
made them sit in our dining table, and that's how he started.
Yes.
And I used to, from day one, tell, do this, Girish, do that, Girish. He'll be like, let me enjoy the process. Today I've got one client, let me celebrate that.
Yes.
So little by little, he has been able to touch so many lives.
Thanks.
And one final assignment we want you to do. Okay, so that will complete this whole process. Otherwise, this will only be knowledge. You're not going to use it.
Yeah.
Once you write down what does success look like for your relationship, now imagine your partner, spouse, whoever it is, and make a list of all the gains you've had in your relationship. Be appreciative for every small gain that you've had in the relationship. Make a nice big list and then go and communicate that to your partner.
Yes, that will help you to connect with your partner more, and that will give you life to your relationship. Because there are so many people together, there's no life in that relationship. They are alive and they are being together. They are not adding values to each other. So that is awesome. I think this everyone should do this and see how powerful you are in your life.
Absolutely.
So maybe some, as Buna told. So if I only see more of gaps, okay, I'm not able to see gain. Again, there will be something called karmic energy that you should learn. Or there should be some curse in our family which we should overcome that. So we should see that why we are not able to be happy, what is fundamentally, what is wrong, what is bothering me from my childhood, what is I'm not able to connect. Okay, so if you feel that whatever we are saying that you are not able to do, then I think that next step you should get certain help and get that energy to be able to accept, able to work, because mind, emotions are a very powerful concept which we are not gone through it. So people will say that yes, I'm doing but I'm not happy. Why? You are emotionally, you are not able to connect. Why? Energy, you are not able to connect, and you are not able to clear that energy which is stopping you from loving your spouse and stopping you from appreciating your spouse. So many people will say that I know everything but I cannot openly appreciate my wife because his throat chakra is blocked, his basic chakra is not able to appreciate himself, so that he is not able to appreciate the spouse, or it vice versa also. Some wives will be feeling that yes, my husband is doing so many things, but I am not able to appreciate, I am not able to connect, I am not able to feel, because it's all are the past that they carry in their life.
Absolutely. So, whatever activity we asked you to do, if you're able to easily do it, no problem. But if you're not able to do it, if you're not able to recollect all the gains in your relationship, if you're not able to define what is a successful relationship for you, then definitely, as Girish said, there could be emotional blocks, karmic blocks, any of these things. So, our recommendation would be, my recommendation would be actually go ahead and schedule a free clarity session with Girish. The link is given right above the video. I think it's humanconnect.in/apply. If you go to that link, it will take you to a form. Go fill out that form. As soon as you fill the form, Girish will go through it, and someone from our team will reach out to you and help you schedule a session with Girish. And during that session, he'll probably be able to.
Yes, we will able to break that pattern and see what is that you want from in your life. So you will, that's like a clarity call for you. So you will have exactly what you want in your life. Okay.
Yeah.
So anything else?
That's it, Girish. So if you have any friends or family members whom you think need
Yes.
help, just share this video with them. If they're able to resonate with what we've spoken, they themselves will fill the form without you asking them to do it. And we will see you next Tuesday at 7 p.m. in yet another session of Love Bytes Live.
Love you all. Thank you for coming. So let this grow day by day. So every week I and Jyotsna are promising you, if we are in Chennai, we will come on live so that you can enjoy this 30 minutes or 35 or 40 minutes session, so that from next time we will say in advance what we are going to do, so that you can come with lots of questions to us, and we are here to talk about it and to connect with you in deeper.
In case you couldn't watch this live and you're seeing the replay, make sure you leave those questions in the comments. And if you have any specific areas that you want us to cover in the future sessions, let us know that also in the comments, and we'll make sure we cover them in the forthcoming videos.
Yes. Thank you. Love you all. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.